Hello, my name is Miss Horsfield and I am a form tutor at the Wyndham College Prep School. In this presentation, I will talk about what literacy is, how we teach literacy, and how to support your child at home. So what is literacy in the early years? The early years is teaching and learning for children up to the age of 5, and it is divided into two sections, reading and writing. Reading is all about enjoying a range of stories read by us teachers or you at home, understanding that there is a structure to stories, a beginning, middle and end, recalling stories in order. It's also about holding books the right way round, turning the pages correctly, understanding that information can be retrieved from books, and knowing the difference between fiction and non-fiction. By the end of reception, we hope that children will be able to sound out and blend sounds in words. For example, if we take the word sat, I would sound it out by saying each sound individually, s, a, t, and blend those sounds to say the word sat. And finally, reading simple sentences. Writing. Writing is all about giving meaning to the marks that children make. These marks could be lines and squiggles on a page. But why has the child done that? Was there a purpose? Additionally, it's about holding the pencil correctly, which will support them when they write letters later on, and sounding out words when they are writing. It's also about speaking clearly and understanding what rhyming is. By the end of reception, we hope that children will be writing phonetically plausible words. Phonetically plausible means if we take the word some, S-O-M-E, and write it phonetically plausible, which would be S-U-M. This is great that children will be using their phonological understanding to write words. And finally, it's about writing simple sentences. For example, the cat is fat. So how does Wyndham College Prep School teach literacy? We are using the approach called Talk for Writing, which focuses on teaching reading and writing through stories. And there are three main areas. The first stage is the imitation stage, which is all about recalling stories in order, learning the main parts and structure of stories. In reception, we focus heavily on this area, as children will learn the structure of stories, how to describe, and be learning key story vocabulary, such as once upon a time, next, later on. The imitation stage links very closely to the early years curriculum, therefore it is a great place to immerse children in the learning. We will also be acting out stories using actions and drawing story maps, which, as you can see from the photo, are little pictures outlining the main parts of the story. We will be completing craft activities and having links to non-fiction books. For example, in the first half term, we will be reading Owl Babies. Therefore, we will be learning some real-life facts about owls. The next stage is the innovation stage, where we change the story to make it our own. For example, we could change the main character in the setting. If we take a look at the Little Red Riding Hood, we could innovate this story to the little red fish in the ocean with the big scary shark. The final stage is the invention stage, where children will be creating and writing their own stories using the same format as the story we've been reading about. In reception, we will not focus too heavily on this stage, as children will also be learning how to read and write. In the summer term, we may start drawing our own stories. Additionally, we will focus on a book every half term in order for children to gain a bank of different story experiences. We want to get children excited about the story, so we will hook them in with experiences, such as trips, craft activities, links to technology, special guests, anything to get the children excited and motivated to learn. We also want children to ask questions and be curious about the topic. For example, in the first half term, we will be reading Owl Babies. As a hook, we will have some feathers on the floor and a photo of an owl in our classroom. We want children to ask questions, such as, how did it get there? Where did it come from? Why? We will also be meeting a real-life owl, as well as creating owls' nests from natural materials. Throughout the learning, We will ask children to share their ideas and make sure they feel valued for their thinking. We want to promote independent thinking and creative ideas. Therefore, we will be using the children's ideas when we are modelling activities to the class. We will have clear links with phonics. When we are modelling to the class, we will make sure that we are sounding out the words we are writing and also modelling how to write simple sentences, checking that our writing makes sense and writing on the line. We will also be teaching based on what the children need. Whether the children need more support, stretching or challenging, we will be there to support them. And we also have finger gym exercises. These are fun activities to build muscles in the arms and hands. Children need to build these muscles before they can comfortably hold a pencil and write letters. These could be manipulating Play-Doh, squeezing tweezers, using scissors, and there are many more. How can you support your child at home? Reading to your child every day will support their reading, writing, understanding of words, and how to be a reader, because you will be holding the book the right way round, as well as turning the pages correctly. Model how to be a reader. Read in front of them, whether it's a book, magazine, Kindle, sign at a cafe, a recipe book. Show them how to do it by pointing at the words you are reading and sound out those difficult words. Talk to your child and ask questions about their experiences. Show children how to ask questions and how to communicate with others. They will build up a bank of vocabulary which will support their writing. This directly links with sharing your experiences. Talk in chronological order and talk in full sentences. This will also support their writing. Ask children to explain their pictures. This will allow them to be a storyteller. They will probably have drawn that picture for a reason and may have created a story all about it. So let them share their stories. Acting out stories with your child, whether it be a story that you've read together or a made-up story, will immerse children in storytelling. This will support their character development when they begin to create their own stories in class. Build muscles in their arm and hands. This will support your child to write. These activities could be playing with Play-Doh, using tweezers, poking straws through holes, threading pasta, throwing and catching, and there are many more activities on Google. This will support your children to hold a pencil with a tripod grip. When they are learning to write, some children will begin by writing the letters the wrong way round. Make sure you support their writing development by correcting their mistakes, by showing them how to write the letter the correct way round and how to form the letter correctly. Don't correct all of their spelling. Remember, children at this age will be writing phonetically plausible words. For example, some, S-O-M-E, children will spell it as S-U-M, which is great because they are using their phonics knowledge to spell, so don't worry too much about spelling. Most importantly, move at your child's pace. All children develop at different times, so please don't rush them, because they may then dislike reading and writing, which is what we want to avoid. So please don't worry. They will be able to read and write when their bodies are ready. And finally, top tips to support storytelling. When reading stories to your child at home, or eventually when they read stories to you, it's great to ask them questions, such as these that are popping up on the screen. This will develop their understanding of stories and they will be able to gain their own opinions about what they like and dislike. Don't focus on the words all of the time. Looking at the pictures will help children understand the words, especially when there is a word that they've never seen before. For example, looking at the huge tower will allow children to make the link that huge and big are similar. And ask them questions about the pictures, such as, "What do you see?" Allow them to practice retelling the story through the pictures. Also, explain what new words mean. If a child has never heard the word enormous, they need to know what it means in order to understand the story. This will help when they write their own interesting stories later on. And finally, promote reading wherever you are. For example, let's go read what this sign says. Show that reading is fun and exciting, as well as helpful. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, then please ask a member of staff at school. We are always here and happy to help. Thank you.